Good day. My name is Gregersen. I'm head of corporate communication in the Danish National Police. The Danish Police is an organization which have more than 15,000 employees, whereof 10,700 is police officers. Of course, when we look into the police force and the Danish public, most of the Danes know the Danish police. And from different kinds of analysis, we know that the Danish police is seen as a very trustworthy organization, also compared with our foreign counterparts. What I will talk to today is how and in which way the Danish National Police went on to social media. And I'll try to cover 4 topics. The first is why the Danish police use social media. The next point is what our experiences is about the social media. The third point is how we work in the daily business and how we use this social platform in connection with other kind of communication platforms. And last but not least, I will try to answer the question about what will we do about social media in the future. We have made a preliminary analysis where we had talked to a lot of different kind of organizations. We have talked to our foreign counterparts in Sweden, in Norway, in Germany, in UK and in US. And we also have talked to public authorities in Denmark. And what we found out from the starting point was that there was not many organizations which had a clear strategy for their presence on the social media. They do not have any kinds of goals, and they do not know about how many resources they use when they are on the social media. Not in the economic perspective, but neither in the personal resources. So because of that, we decided to make three different kinds of pilot projects to be more sure about should we be on the social media and what would the price for us be and what kind of goal would we realize after going onto the social media. So we went on social media in the very beginning of 2012 and made three different kind of pilot projects. We also have made an evaluation afterwards and concluded that the Danish police should be on the social media and that we should enhance our presence there. And of course, we make ongoing evaluation to be more sure about how and when should we work with the social media. From the starting point, we have this kind of objectives using the social media. We would increase our presence on new media platforms. And why that? Yeah, the reason is quite obvious, because people, and especially young people, are on social media, they are on mobile platforms. And because they are, we also have obligation to be there. The next point is that we want to signal modernity. We also want to create a communication channel which we can use in citizen-driven innovation. We also want to have a channel where we can communicate to the citizens and where the citizen can communicate with each other and with their network. And of course, we want to have a channel where we can come in connection or in contact with the citizen as a part of a preparedness strategy when we have a national crisis or a local crisis. So it could be a part of our crisis management or our crisis communication strategy. And last but not least, we also want to have a communication channel where we can come in connection with young people. Let's take a short look on this kind of social media. When we look into Twitter, Denmark is a very, very small Twitter nation. One of the reasons is perhaps that we are so big a Facebook nation. depending on which kind of sources or analysis you look into, there is something about 75 to 150,000 accounts in Denmark on Twitter. And there is more than 3 million accounts on Facebook, as well as there is more than 1 million accounts on LinkedIn. Actually, there is 1.2 million accounts on LinkedIn. Twitter is seen as a niche media. It's almost in the bigger cities. It's in Aarhus, it's in Copenhagen, and it's more for people with a higher education and people which are under 35 years of age. When we look into to Facebook, Facebook is a media for everyone. It's for the young people, but it is also for the elder people. And if we look into the penetration or the interaction on the media, one can see from different kinds of analysis that 1.2% of the accounts in Denmark producing 50% of all the interaction on Twitter, where it's for everybody when we talk about Facebook. So from the starting point, we were more interested in Facebook than in Twitter. On the other hand, Twitter is a very easy media using. And when we look into our own organization, to the police officers, they were more willing to use Twitter than Facebook. I will come back to that. Most organizations have some difficulties about using social media, and especially Facebook, because Facebook is a person-to-person communication channel. So there is some difficulties for every organization using Facebook. And that kind of difficulties is even worse when you are public authorities. I will list up some of the general issues we look into as an organization when we went on to Facebook. There's something about filing the post. There's something about answering posts and your obligation to answer the citizens' post on your Facebook wall. There is also something about the legislation and about the Privacy Act using Facebook as a communication tool towards private citizens as a public authority. But we also saw some difficulties as a public and police authority. One of the main problems we saw was that if people went on and write something on our wall, it could be a message about help. We would not have the resources to penetrate our wall and to react fast enough toward the citizen. So we have made some restriction using our Facebook wall. In our channel strategy, our main channel is our corporate website, thepolity.dk. And what we actually are trying to do is that this corporate website will still be the anchor in our citizen digital communication strategy. So when a citizen went into the police world, they can use the channel that they want to use, meaning that we had a possibility to tailor-make our communication strategy and tailor-make the channels and the messages towards different kinds of citizen groups. That could be on the social media, that could be on telephone, that could be on the application or apps, and of course it can also be in personal contact. But what we overall try to cover is the same messages for every people, but tailor-made for their needs. We made 3 different kinds of pilot projects. The first one was the Facebook wall for the Danish National Police. We went on Facebook in the early winter last year. Short after, Copenhagen Police went on Twitter, And in the late autumn last year, the North Zealand police went on to Facebook with their wall. We have some difficulties about Twitter because the police officers in Copenhagen could not see what was the goal, and they could not see the need for this kind of communication towards the citizen. But after Distortion, which is an event in Copenhagen, which was in late May last year, there was quite a difference because the police officers could see that there was something we could use Twitter to. And because of that, more and more police districts went onto Twitter. So today, every 12 police districts in Denmark are on Twitter, as well as the Danish National Police. This is a kind of highlights from the last year on different kind of Facebook channels. We have tried a lot, and we have a lot of experiences. So when you try to make a kind of status, we have today almost 113,000 people who are following Danish police either on Facebook or on Twitter or on both platforms. 72,888 this day is on Facebook, and almost 14,000 is on Twitter. The followers are all in all very satisfied with our information about police and police work on this platform. And what we actually can see is that we have gained more trust inside this group. 46% say that they have gained more trust in Danish police after they have known us on the social media. And 60% of those which are following us on the social media are not following us on our corporate website, meaning that we have gained new target groups for our communication strategy. Moving on to the main conclusions. The police force should be on social media, and we should enhance our presence on the social media, meaning that it's not only about Twitter and Facebook. We will also have a presence on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and so on and so forth. We must be present not only on a national level, but also on a regional and a local level. And we are mostly assured that we also will use the social media on a ad hoc basis, so we can have some event where we can use the social media communicating to the citizens. On the national Facebook site or platform, we will not open our wall for the citizen posting comments directly on the wall, but that will be the case when we are moving on to regional and local platforms. We will also enhance our presence. We will enhance our corporate way to showing our presence on the different kinds of social media. That is our visual identity, our tone of voice, the editorial procedures, and so on and so forth, but also the presence on this kind of media in connection with our overall channel strategy. And of course, we will also use this kind of media to regular citizen-driven communication. I take this quotation from an associate professor in Aarhus University with what he was calling our presence on the social media was, it is a fresh initiative, but he believed that we will be more on Twitter than on Facebook, because he believed, at least, that people will not follow us or not like us on Facebook because this is a two-sided coin. On the one hand, they can like the police, but on the other hand, they will be reluctant because we can also follow them. What I can say today is that that the history had proven that he was wrong. People want to follow the police force on Twitter, but also on Facebook. And you can follow us on the following platform. Thanks a lot for your attention.